See if we can get it fixed here. Thought I had it going. Sorry. Good evening. It is March 23rd. So, those of you that are new to the channel, we've been reading in Numbers, and Leviticus and Numbers in the Bible are not the most fun to read. Tonight is our last. We're finishing Numbers tonight, so yay, and we're starting Deuteronomy. So, tonight I will be in Numbers 36:1 through Deuteronomy 146 and Luke 5:29 through 6:12, Psalms 66 1 through 20, and Proverbs 11:24 through 26. So what I normally like to do is the Lord's Prayer before we get started. So if you will, join in with me. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever and ever. Amen. So let's get started. Let's finish up Numbers. Numbers 36:1 through Deuteronomy 146. The head of the ancestral clan of Gilad, son of Mechar, the son of Manasseh. They were from the clans of the descendants of Joseph, approached Moses and the leaders who were the heads of the families and the people of Israel. They said, when God commanded my master to hand over the inheritance lands by lot to the people of Israel, my master was also commanded by God to hand over the inheritance land of Zelophehad, that's a lot, our brother, to his daughters. But what happens if they marry into another tribe in the people of Israel? Their inheritance land will be taken out of the ancestral tribe and get added into the tribe in which they're married. And then, when that year of the Jubilee comes for the people of Israel, their inheritance will be lumped in with the inheritance of the tribe into which they married. Their land will be removed from an ancestral inheritance. Moses, at God's command, issued this order to the people of Israel. What the tribe of the sons of Joseph says is right. This is God's command for Zelophehad's daughters. They are free to marry anyone they choose as long as they marry within their ancestral clan. Their inheritance land of the people of Israel must not get passed around from tribe to tribe. No, keep their tribal inheritance land in the family. Every daughter who inherits land, regardless of the tribe she is in, must marry a man from within her family's tribal clan. Every Israelite is responsible for making sure the inheritance stays with the ancestral tribe. No inheritance land may be passed from tribe to tribe. Each tribe of the people of Israel must hold tight to its own land. Zelophehad's daughters did just as God commanded Moses. Melah, Tizar, Hoglah, Milcah, and Noah, Zelophehad's daughters, all married their cousins on their father's side. They married within the family of Manasseh, son of Joseph, and their inheritance lands stayed in the father's family. Let me fix my Bible. Hang on a second. These are the commands and regulations that God commanded through the authority of Moses to the people of Israel on the plains of Moab at Jordan Jericho. These are the sermons Moses preached to all Israel when they were east of the Jordan River in the Arabah wilderness opposite Suf, in the vicinity of Paran, Tophel, Liban, Herzal, and Dizab. It takes 11 days to travel from Horeb to Kadesh Barnea, following the Mount Seir route. It was on the first day of the 11th month of the 14th year when 40th year when Moses addressed the people of Israel, telling them everything God had commanded him concerning them. This came after he had defeated Sihon, king of the Amorites, who ruled from Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, who ruled from Ashtaroth in the Edrei, in the east of the Jordan, in the land of Moab, that Moses set out to explain this revelation. He said, back at Horeb, God our God spoke to us. You stayed long enough at this mountain. On your way now, get moving. Head for the Amorite hills. Wherever people are living in the Arabah, the mountains, the foothills of Negev, the seashore, the Canaanite country, and Lebanon, all the way to the big river, the Euphrates. Look, I've given you this land. Now go in and take it. It's the land God promised to give your ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their children after them. At that time I told you I can't do this. God can't At this time I told you I can't do this. Can't carry you all by myself. God, your God, has multiplied your numbers. Why, look at you. You rival the stars in the sky, and may God, the God of your fathers, keep it up and multiply you thousands, another thousand times. Bless you just as he promised, but how can I carry all by myself your troubles and burdens and quarrels? So select some wise, understanding, and seasoned men from your tribe, and I will commission them as leaders. You answered me, good, a good solution. So I went ahead and took the top men from our tribes, wise and seasoned, and made them your leaders, leaders of thousands, of hundreds of and fifties and tens, officials, adequate for each of your tribes. At the same time, I gave orders to your judges: listen carefully to complaints and accusations between your fellow Israelites. Judge fairly between each person and his fellow or foreigner. Don't play favorites. Treat the little and the big alike. Listen carefully to each. Don't be impressed by big names. This is God's judgment you're dealing with. Hard cases you can bring to me. I'll deal with them. I issue orders to you at that time regarding everything you would have to deal with. Then we set out from Harab and headed for the Amorite hill country, going through the huge and frightening wilderness that you've had more than an eyeful of by now, all under the command of God, our God, and finally arrived at Kadesh Barnea. There I told you you've made it, to the Amorite hill country that God, our God, is giving us. Look, God, your God, has placed his land as a gift before you. Go ahead and take it now. God, the God of our fathers, promised it to you. Don't be afraid, don't lose heart. But then you can come to me. But then all you came to me and said, let's send some men on ahead to scout out the land for us and bring back a report on the best route to take and the kinds of towns we can expect to find. They seemed like a good idea to me, so I picked 12 men, one from each of the tribe. They set out. Climbing through the hills, they came to the Eshcol Valley and looked it over. They took samples of the produce of the land and brought them back to us, saying, "It's a good land for our God has it's a good land that our God is giving us." But then you weren't willing to go up. You rebelled against God, your God's plain work. You complained in your tents. God hates us. He hauled us out of Egypt in order to dump us among the Amorites. A death sentence for sure. How can we go up? We're trapped in a dead end. Our brothers took all the wind out of our sails, telling us that people are bigger and stronger than we are. These cities are huge. Their defense is massive. We even saw Anakate giants there. I tried to relive your fears. Don't be terrified on them. God, your God, is leading the way, fighting for you. You saw with your own eyes that he did for you what he did for you in Egypt. You saw what he did in the wilderness, how God, your God, carried you as far as a father carries his child, carried you the whole way until you arrived here. But now that you're here, you won't trust God, your God, this same God who goes ahead of you in your travels to scout out a place to pitch camp, a fire by night and a cloud by day to show you the way to go. When God heard what you said, he exploded with anger. He swore, not a single person of this evil generation is going to get as much as a look at the good land that I promised to give to your parents. Not one, except for Caleb, son of Jephunneh. He'll see it. I'll give him and his descendants the land he walked on because he was all for following God, heart and soul. But I also got it. Because of you, God's anger spilled over to me. He said, you aren't getting in either. Your assistant, Joshua, son of Nun, will go in. Build up his courage. He's the one who will claim the inheritance for Israel. And your babies, and whom you said they'll be grabbed for plunder, and all those little kids whom right now don't even know right from wrong. They'll get in. I'll give it to them. Yes, they'll be the new owners. But now you turn around and head back into the wilderness, following the route of the Red Sea. You spoke up. We've sinned against God. We'll go up and fight, following all the orders that God, our God, has commanded. You took your weapons and dressed for battle and thought it would be so easy going in those hills. But God told me, tell them, don't do it. Don't go up to fight. I'm not with you in this. Your enemies will waste you. I told you, but you wouldn't listen. You rebelled at the plain word of God. You threw out your chest and stuttered into the hills. And those Amorites who have lived in those hills all their lives swarmed all over you like a hive of bees, chasing you from Seir all the way to Hormah. A stinging defeat. You came back and wept in the presence of God, but He didn't pay a bit of attention to you. God didn't give you the time of day. You stayed in there in Kadesh a long time, about as long as you stayed there earlier. So the breakdown of Numbers 36 1 through Deuteronomy 146 says the theme, order, obedience is learning from failure. The daughters of Zelophehad secure their inheritance. God cares about family legacy. Israel reaches the edge of the promised land, but fear stops them. Instead of trusting God, they listen to doubt. The result, 40 years of delay. God will give you what He promised, but fear, complaining, and disobedience will stall the progress. Delayed obedience isn't neutral, it's expensive. Ouch. Luke 5:29 through 6:12. Levi gave a large dinner at his home for Jesus. Excuse me. Everyone was there, taxmen and other disre- disreputable characters as guests for dinner. The Pharisees and the religion scholars came to his disciples greatly offended. What is he doing, eating and drinking with misfits and sinners? Jesus heard about it and spoke up. Who needs a doctor, the healthy or the sick? I'm here inviting outsiders, not insiders. An invitation to a changed life, changed inside and out. They ask him, John's disciples are well known for keeping fasts and prayers. All the Pharisees, but you seem to spend more of your time at parties. Why? Jesus said, when you're celebrating a wedding, you don't skimp on the cake and wine, you feast. Later, you may need to exercise moderation, but this isn't that time. As long as the bride and groom are with you, you have a good time. When the groom is gone, the fasting can begin. No one throws cold water on a friendly bonfire. This is kingdom come. No one cuts up a fine silk scarf to patch old work clothes. You want fabrics that match. And you don't put wine in old, cracked bottles. You get strong, clean bottles from your fresh vintage wine. And no one who has ever tasted fine aged wine prefers unaged wine. On a certain Sabbath, Jesus was walking through a field of ripe grain. His disciples were pulling off heads of the grain and rubbing them in their hands to get rid of the chaff and eating them. Some Pharisees said, "But why are you doing that? You're breaking the Sabbath rule." But Jesus stood up for them. Have you never read that David and those with him did what they did when they were hungry? How he entered the sanctuary and ate fresh bread off the altar, bread that no one but priests were allowed to eat. He also handed it out to his companions. Then he said, the Son of Man is no slave to the Sabbath. He's in charge. One other On other Sabbath, he went to the meeting place and taught. There was a man there with a crippled right hand, and religious scholars and Pharisees had their eyes on Jesus to see if he would heal the man. Hoping to catch him in the Sabbath violation, he knew what they were up to, and he spoke to the man with the crippled hand. Get up and stand here before us. And he did. Then Jesus addressed them. Let me ask you something. What kind of action suits the Sabbath best? Doing good or doing evil? Helping people or leaving them helpless? He looked around, looked each one in the eye. He said to the man, hold out your hand. He held it out. It was as good as new. They were beside themselves with anger and started plotting how they might get even with him. The breakdown of Luke 5:29 through 6:12. Jesus disrupts religion with relationship. Jesus eats with sinners. Religious people criticize. He says, I came for the sick, not the healthy. Teaches new wine needs new wineskins. You can't fit Jesus into old mindsets. He heals on the Sabbath and proves people less than rules. Then he prays all night before choosing his disciples. Jesus isn't about religious performance, he's about transformation. If your walk with God is just routine, you're missing the relationship. Ouch. Shouldn't be just checking boxes. Psalm 66, 1 through 20. All together now, applause for God. Sing songs to the tune of glory. Set glory to the rhythms of his praise. Say of God, we've never seen anything like him. When your enemies see you in action, They'll slink off like scolded dogs. The whole earth falls to its knees. Its worship it worships you, sings to you, can't stop enjoying your name and fame. Take a good look at God's wonders. They'll take your breath away. He converted sea to dry land. Travelers crossed the river on foot. Now isn't that the cause for a song? Every, every sovereign every sovereign in his high tower he keeps. His eye on the godless nations. Rebels don't dare raise a finger against him. Bless our God, O peoples. Give him a thunderous welcome. Don't Didn't he set us up on the road to life? Didn't he keep us out of the ditch? He trained us first, passes us like silver through refined fires, brought us into the hard scrabble country, pushed us to our very limit, road tested us inside and out, and took us to hell and back. Finally, he brought us to this well watered place. I'm bringing my prizes and presents to your house. I don't. I am doing what I said I would do. What solemnly swore I'd do. What I solemnly swore I'd do. That day when I was in so much trouble, the choicest cuts of meat, for the sacrificial meat, even the fragrance of the roasted lamb is like a meal. Or make or make it an ox garnished with goat meat. All believers, come here and listen. Let me tell you what God did for me. I called out to him with my mouth. My tongue shaped the sounds of music. If I had been cozy with evil, the Lord would never have listened. But he most surely did listen. He came on the double when he heard my prayer. Blessed be God, he didn't turn a deaf ear. He stayed with me, loyal and in love. Loyal and in his love, excuse me. Psalm 66, 1 through 20, it says the theme is praise even through pressure. So celebrate God loudly. He's done mighty things. Acknowledge God's test, refines, and stretches his people. He also into brings you out into abundance. The message is the pressure you're in isn't punishment, it's preparation. Don't just praise when you're winning, praise because he's working. That's good. Proverbs 11:24 through 26. The world of the generous get larger and larger. The world of the stingy gets smaller and smaller. The one who blesses others is abundantly blessed. The one who helps others are helped. Curses on those who drive a hard bargain. Blessings on all who play fair and square. The breakdown of Proverbs 11:24 through 26 says generosity multiplies. One gives freely and grows richer. One withholds and ends up in lack. The one the one who refreshes others will be refreshed. Scarcity mindset shrinks you. Generosity expands you. That's really good. Scarcity mindset shrinks you, but generosity expands you. You don't lose by giving. You position yourself to receive. That's really good. Folks, if I haven't told you today, or if no one else told you, I love you. I'm glad you're here. Share, we'll get more people, pass this out to people, let them know that we are reading the Bible in a year, and we can do this together. It's not too late. Each episode lasts anywhere from about 12 to 20 minutes. I appreciate you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.